What's up, gamers? In this video, we are looking at empty Halo 2 multiplayer maps. And if you're watching this late at night, I got bad news for you. This one's a little spooky, like a skeleton. So, get under your covers, get snugged up, because we're looking at Halo 2 empty maps. This is a Lockout on Halo 2. And for most of this map, it has this gray color scheme. Everything is frosted, and most of the structure that is hanging on the side of this mountain is made of metal. And it's just out here in the mountains of a Halo ring. What's interesting is, as I said, most of this is blue-gray. Like, you're seeing the same color throughout most of the map with some yellow from the lighting. So it's pretty much gray, some white from the snow, yellow from the lights, and then a bright blue from this teleporter. And the only area that's different is down here, where you get this really weird green room. And it has the stereotypical horror element of a light that's flickering on and on. And you can see this smoky green haze on the other side of these pods, with this one being open, and the only thing you can see is just a green gradient. You could probably fit a person in here. And so that begs the question, what is supposed to be in these? This is clearly some containment, and this map itself being so isolated, probably it's something that shouldn't be released. What's also interesting is the contrast between the outside and this spot. The ambience in here is kind of frightening and scary. You have the electrical sounds from the lights and that constant hum. And the outside it's less scary and more just peaceful. Ascension. This is supposed to be a radio relay area from what I saw from the map lore, and that's why we have this dish right here in the middle, which makes the loudest noises in the world. But for most of this map, there isn't much to look at. You can see that this is established on a plateau of sorts. One of those rocks you can see in the distance. This is the same thing, just with a structure built on top. And there's nothing too much of note. It's all Forerunner architecture, which, controversial opinion, I mean, most Forerunner areas are kind of boring. The main thing I wanted to look at was the background and skybox and sky ground. I don't know what you would call this. If you thought Lockout was isolated, this is even more of an extreme. Also, a lot more depressing. This area being a bit more pretty instead of just darkness, evil. This gives me Renaissance painting vibes. But you have the sun shining through. Oh, I guess not the sun, because we're on a Halo ring. I don't even know where that light's coming from. I guess a nearby star. I've always got weird feelings from this map, but being here by myself definitely exacerbates that. I also never noticed this area. I was never really big on learning the weapon drops and like where to pick up power-ups, but this rocket launcher is just on this platform right here that's completely by itself. It gives you an even closer look into the endless fog. Right here, my entire screen is just gray. There's not an ounce of detail. You can kind of see movement right there. Midship is another pretty popular map. I should probably stop saying that, because most of Halo 2 maps are popular, except the ones at the end, which I couldn't find anything interesting. This is a very popular map, and it's been reintroduced into most of the Halos, and the map itself doesn't really give me scary vibes. It's just an alien spaceship. But what is scary are the ambient noises, and I'll try to capture the creepiest ones as I walk around here. really interesting to join with no other players, and it kind of changes into this really creepy setting of just this abandoned alien spaceship that is right outside of Earth, which I never noticed that this is planet Earth. You can see Africa. Alright, so this is Ivory Tower, a very well-known map. It's featured in Reach as well. But there's a couple of things I want to talk about that I find very odd about this mall aesthetic looking map. First off, are these benches. How are you supposed to get to these benches? Spartans are pretty tall, taller than normal humans, and this is going probably about at my head level. And we have to jump up with our space jump to get to this bench. So how would a normal human, and there's another one over here that would just be as tricky to walk to. An even weirder feature is one that's not even in the map, and that's the buildings outside. I was taking a look at these buildings, and some of them don't even have windows. They are just giant monoliths of concrete with nothing to look at. This one has some windows, but then the other side is just nothing. The architecture of these buildings are very uninspired, and you can see on the other side as well that it's kind of even worse with just these flat concrete walls. Like, are these office buildings, living quarters? I don't know what they are, but they look very depressing. And of course, to show off some liminal-esque looking areas, we have this little cargo hold, I think, back here. I don't know what this room is supposed to be. I imagine cargo because we have this lift and we have a area where it looks like you can transport boxes. Then we have these kind of weird little rooms that just highlight these weapons and plasma grenades. But it's just a lamp in here with a window and a cement cube. Also, these lamps have physics. That makes squeaky noises. Also, the decor is quite strange with just these small flowers encased in this window thing on both sides. And we can see the same thing on this metal staircase ramp up to the second. They just have very little plants. I also find these windows quite strange with the lines. You see this changed in Halo Reach, I believe. They make it more appealing. Here we have Warlock, and you can tell by those bats, the ambience of this place is exceptionally creepy. And it's one of the only rain maps. Big fan of rain weather effects. This is a ancient ruin type area with overgrowth and a lot of broken parts and what sounds like something moving around in the shadows. There's no areas of note. I mean, you're seeing it all. This is a 4-way symmetrical map with similar platforms to help make a fair Slayer match. But I wanted to include this map because I think it has some of the best ambience with the rain, and the bats, and the animals. It's also a crow somewhere. A really good crow sound effect. One of the top 10 crow sound effects in gaming. Alright, so this is my favorite creepy map. Also one that I don't remember ever playing on Halo 2. This is Tombstone. And for the most part, it has this really unique look of just industrial, brown, concrete, deserty architecture. And it has this overall just weird vibe, and it's very busy looking. This is actually a remake of Halo Combat Evolved's Hang 'em High, which it took me like a minute to realize because I just didn't see the resemblance at first, but once you see it, you know, you see it. It is a little different. But this isn't really creepy. I mean, you have the creepy sounds and the wind blowing. The real reason I find this map creepy is the skybox, which I can show you once I climb up this little pillar thing. And look at this. What the hell? This is just an apocalyptic map. On the map lore thing, it says this map is a decommissioned munitions facility, I believe. But it does not talk about how everything has been destroyed. And this map probably does the best job at telling the story of how the humans were just obliterated in the Human Covenant War. I mean, this is scary. The bright orange, buildings in the distance that are just ruined. There is no one out there that's alive. And here we are in just this facility alone on the outskirts of the city. You can see the lightning. It's depressing, but also like really cool looking. Seeing the skybox, I was shocked. I was like, I had no idea this was here. I don't remember this at all, but it gives very eerie vibes. This map also just has some classic creepy areas. Besides the terrible sounds. And then you have this hallway, which doesn't do it any favors. These really weird gated doorways. They're like, the windows are blocked by metal as well. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of some of the maps. I had no idea that the Halo 2 maps were as creepy. I played a lot of Halo 2 and don't remember them at all being creepy, but walking in them alone definitely gives you a weird vibe. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like for more, and give your comments of things you thought I missed or should talk about. There's other maps that I think have cool areas that I just didn't include because they weren't scary. But there's a lot of other games I want to explore, and I really appreciate the support I've had on my first one on the Star Wars Battlefront 2. So thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy your existence. Take care.